About to start.
We've got more great basketball action for you. This week, we're visiting one of the toughest places to play in the league, as the Canada Life Centre in Winnipeg is the site for Sea Bears hosting a Calgary franchise appropriately named, as they are literally surging. This one is going to be a good one. Hello, Hoop Heads. Come on into our CBC studios. I am Donovan Bennett, going to be a pass first point guard for the next couple hours because I have two really good teammates, part of Canada basketball family and Canada basketball royalty, the coach, Joe Razzo, the player coach, Tamara Tatum. And you know what? This one is going to be good, but the records might fool some people coming in because these are two teams who've had maybe a different start to the year. Calgary just 3-13, but they've won their last two, and they've been 500 over the last 6. They actually swept Vancouver, which puts Winnipeg in sole possession of first, and Winnipeg has a chance to clinch a playoff spot today. Winnipeg, the ethos of this league is local talent, and certainly they have that. They actually have 6 players and 4 big players in the rotation that are from not just the province, the city of Winnipeg, all stars in their roles. But Simon Hildebrand, coach, he's someone who his role has changed throughout the year, and he's adapted quite well. As a coach, you must love that.
Well, and you got to love Simon Hildebrand. He's decided to start his collegiate career in Winnipeg. He used it to become the CEBL U Sports Player, Developmental Player of the Year in 2024. Now he's back as a full-time pro, a local ambassador. He's coming off the best game of the year with 21 points and 6 rebounds versus Edmonton. He's a 6'8" Winnipegger who can score inside and he can score outside.
And he is standing by with, and we're gonna get to him in a second, but Postmus is a name that is royalty in Winnipeg.
In Winnipeg, it's a two-way street. You get what you give. Chad Postmus set the standard for the hometown hero. He was a great guy, bigger than life. He had this personality, he had this friendship. He was everything that Manitoba had to be. He was a special player in the CBL, but a special Manitoban.
Yeah, no question. Hildebrand hoping to get to that status. And as I mentioned, he's standing by with our Joe Slattery.
Thank you, Donovan. Simon, last game, it was a gritty win against the Stingers. You get the season sweep on them, and you keep the undefeated streak at home alive. Tonight, it's a similar situation. You can sweep the season against Calgary, but more importantly, you can clinch a playoff spot. How do you punch that ticket today?
Doing the same things we did yesterday. Playing hard, playing gritty, trying to get those extra possessions, trying to guard the best we can, just doing the little things.
Well, you yourself last game, best game of the season, 21 points, 75% from the field, and you hit the target score winner. How do you build on that game, the game on Thursday here tonight?
Just don't force it. We had a lot of guys down yesterday. We got a lot of guys back, so my role might not be the same as it was last game. So just try to come in and do all the little things like Coach Rainbow's been telling me all year. Try to come in and rebound, try to come in and guard the best I can, get some deflections, some momentum plays. And when you do that, the shots start falling, the ball starts finding you.
Thanks for this. Best of luck today.
Thank you.
All right, Donovan.
You heard him say there, his role might not be the same. A Winnipegger whose role has been the same is Emmanuel Acott. He's been a feature guy, and you have former teammates, Kia Nurse and Kale Alexander, playing for the Tempo. When you're a feature player in your hometown, comes with pressure, but I imagine privilege as well.
Absolutely. It's always amazing to play as the hometown kid in your town. But that comes with a lot of pride, but it also comes with a lot of pressure and responsibility. What I love about Acott is that he plays night in and night out, and he never gets too high and he never gets too low. He stays even keel. With that, his offense continuously stays the same, and he takes what the defense gives him and he takes what the offense gives him as well. So That type of player is so invaluable for a team that is looking to keep that #1 spot and take that #1 spot going into the playoffs.
Yeah, the person who hoping that they don't get that clinching spot today would be Dave DeVero, the coach of the Calgary Surge. And it's an interesting litmus test for Calgary, because when Dave took over about a month ago, 2 back-to-backs against Winnipeg, lost by 20, lost by 19. But they've come a long way since. And talking about playoffs, 7 of their next 8 against Western teams. So they could go on a run. For you, Coach, how does he keep this team engaged and focused on the task at hand?
Well, when you're in a hole, the first thing you do is you stop digging. And, you know, the Surge go 0-7. They bring in Dave DeVero, an experienced coach. And midweek changes in a fast, fluid league are tough. But the veteran coach came in with a plan that meant a change in personnel, a change in roles, and a change in attitude. The Surge are now coming off of back-to-back wins. And I think the Surge made a great decision in getting Dave DeVero involved here. Right now, they look dangerous and they look excited. And he's done a Stoneman's job to get them where they're at right now.
So this league is all about development. We think of players, but it's development of coaches as well. And no matter where you are in your coaching career, you can learn. I love the fact that not only Canadians, youth sports coaches are getting opportunity to coach in this league, and it's to the benefit of those franchises. You see Mike Rainbow there coaching at Winnipeg, GM and coach, who he's doing both roles. But when you look at someone like Dave DeVero and the relationships that he can develop, he's shown that maybe having a coach who understands a player like Addy Patterson helps. He's seen him since he's a young pup, and now he's asking him to come off the bench. What do you make of the evolution we've seen from Addy Patterson under Coach DeVero?
You know, he's someone that's playing really good basketball right now, and he's very dangerous off the bench. His ability to stay in his role and now understand his role is really helping them move and search towards a playoff spot. He's a high-level scorer from the three-point line. He can get to the rim. He has a great mid-range game, and that type of spark is huge coming off the bench. If he continues to play to his strengths, Calgary has a real shot at coming out on top tonight.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. These players, they don't necessarily succeed in a linear fashion. Coach, this is someone who's growing in the later years when he was one of the highest recruited players coming out in his age group.
Yeah, I've watched him since he was in the 8th grade, so I've had a chance to coach him. He's looking like he's enjoying himself, and that's something that's been missing in his game. He looks like he's happy, and he looks like he's a leader, and his role's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, well, he's finding peak performance now. They're going to need a peak performance from him to be able to be in this game. He's standing by with our Joe Slattery.
Thank you, Donovan Addy. This team has been on a roll as of late. 2 straight wins against Vancouver, and in the last 3 games, you've scored at least 90 points. What's been the biggest factor to this offensive breakthrough?
The biggest factor just been staying together, man. It's been it was a tough start to the season, but you know we got a bunch of winners on this team, so it's only a matter of time before we come together and start making it happen.
Looking at the defensive end now, in both games, you kept Vancouver to under 85 points. First time you guys have done that this season. What's going to be the key to keeping that momentum up against Winnipeg that's averaging 100 points a game?
Yeah, just prioritizing defense first. If we get stops, we know we got a whole bunch of scorers. We got talented guys on offense. So if we can stop them from scoring, we'll be in a good position to win the game.
All right, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
So, thank you.
Donovan.
Some young fans hoping to be the next Emmanuel Acott or Addy Patterson or Tamara Tatum. We'll see. Both teams looking to keep their winning streaks alive. Arash Badetti and Joe Razzo have the call after the break.
The CDI
Welcome back, Canada. It's your lucky day. We've got CEBL across the country today. Our future game is Calgary and Winnipeg, but we got more games on Gem. Montreal at Niagara. Montreal leads midway through the second. Brampton at Ottawa gets underway at 4. Arash and Joe, so much good basketball. Have a great call, fellas.
Donovan, yes, indeed. It is a scorcher in Manitoba's capital today, so everybody's headed indoors to the Canada Life Centre. The thermometer reads 42 Celsius with the Humidex, so come on inside where it could be a playoff clinching kind of day for the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Arash Madani, Joe Rasso, Joey Slattery, and all eyes are going to be on number 8 Winnipeg, Teddy Buckets, getting it done.
Yeah, special player in this league. Teddy Allen can just do it all. Here's a guy that's, leading the league in scoring with 29 points, 5 points more than anyone else, and second in steals. This guy can score. Coach DeVero has just been special this season. He brought this team from an 0-7 start. They've won their last 2 games. They've got a chance for the playoffs. They're talking about it, but they're building momentum. And this team needed some positives. He's been it. Mike Rainbow, a young coach who's come in, who moved 1 seat over from last year. He's a Winnipeg guy. It's a thrill as a coach to be able to work your way home. He's home, and he's got these guys playing. He understands their roles. He knows what he wants to do, and he's making it happen.
There's Teddy Allen, the leading scorer in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. As they tip it up, Spalding is the official ball of the CEBL. The Surge 3-3 in their last 6 games. Winnipeg 7-0, undefeated at home this season. They are 11-5 on the year, have won 3 in a row. With the whistles today, Reed Scott, Neil Donnelly, and Reed Canyon. Packed house again tonight at the Canada Life Centre. The Sea Bears and the Surge, the CEBL on CBC. Here's Trey McGowan's back into the lineup for Winnipeg. Missed the last game with a bit of an injury. 3-point shot short for Isaiah Osborne.
I'm a big fan of the first play of the game. It tells you a lot on both ends, and it gives you an idea what the defense is doing.
And that is Armani Chaney showing what he can be doing, the former Sea Bear returning to Winnipeg and getting Calgary on the board.
Talk about a bucket getter. This Armani Chaney can score in transition. He is a scoring point guard.
And that is a scoring everything. It's Teddy Buckets, misfires on the 3, won the MVP in the CEBL back in the 2023 season, averaging better than 29 points a game this year. 3 no good there for the Surge. Winnipeg is so good on their home floor. The community has embraced these Sea Bears, packed houses every night. The leaders in the Western Conference, Calgary digging out of a hole they set for themselves off the start. Allen back inside to Jeremiah Tillman, and he's fouled.
How about using the clock, just like Winnipeg did there? They did a great job of running it down, getting Allen in a ball screen, and him, Jeremiah Tillman, working together.
It's time for Keys to the Game, presented by CDIC. Joe, let's start with the keys to the game for the Sea Bears.
Well, in the Sea Bears case, it's got to be consistency and confidence. They've really worked on that. Now they got the point where they're going to win the close games, or they feel they can. Teddy needs a co-star. It's too much to ask Teddy Allen to drop 30 points every game. He needs not a supporting cast, but he needs somebody to step up, and then they got to rebound with 5. This is a good rebounding team, and they rely on Tillman a lot, but they all have to step up and board.
Something Dave DeVero's looking from his Calgary Surge. He said we need to compete on the glass. Good setup underneath for Javonte Brown, who's hacked by Isaiah Osborne.
And that's a great way to compete. You get the best free field goal percentage guy in the league. In Calgary's keys, You know, if we're looking at, so we're defining roles with their new roster. That, to me, is the key part. This is a change, a constant change. So they've got to do a good job, and Coach DeVero's done that. They got to control the ball on defense. It's not about controlling Teddy, it's about controlling the ball. And then they got to attack the rim, don't settle. That's what I liked about that play. I thought they settled on their second shot of the game. I think they have to attack the rim and get to the free throw line.
The keys to the game presented by CDIC. Javonte Brown misfires on both. Second-year Calgary player, only 23 years old. Brown is from Toronto. Buckets his way off the side of the backboard. Surge in transition. And no good on the fast break for Adonis Arms. Back inside to Tillman. Working on Brown. No foul there. And it's going to be Calgary ball. So a lot of contact underneath both ways.
Yeah, so let's go back at these. Define the roles. This is a new team, a new roster, new coach. So that part's going to change because some of the people, their roles have changed. Control the ball on defense has been huge for them. And then ultimately at the end, they got to attack the rim.
Here's Brown, who retreats to David Joplin. Now the handoff to Sean Bugsy Miller-Moore, the leading scorer on the Surge, as Tillman corrals it. Bugsy Miller-Moore averaging 18 points a night.
I think getting Ruggsy going downhill is huge for Calgary, even though he missed it. This is where he's strong.
Finishes emphatically with the slam dunk in transition, a three-time CEBL All-Canadian.
So transition from defense to offense is key. And here you go, Ruggsy Miller-Moore just runs the lane ahead of time. As soon as that steal happens, he knows he's going to put one down.
27 years old, Bugsy Miller-Moore. Dave DeVero told us this week, Ruggsy's our leader when it comes to scoring. Now Tillman through the lane, doesn't fall. Javonte Brown collects the rebound.
Javonte Brown making his mark. 7-foot Canadian out here doing the job on both ends of the floor.
Sets up underneath and finishes.
Yeah, he knows who he is. He leads the league in field goal percentage. He gets himself to the spots where he's going to succeed.
And the Surge have talked about development for Brown as Acott finishes, the hometown kid driving baseline. For Brown, the development piece is so big. You mentioned the size, Coach, 7 foot, 240. The ceiling of what he can be as Miller-Moore misfires.
Yeah, having a Canadian guarding import bigs is huge.
Swatted away by David Joplin. Pass intercepted by Tillman. And waiting for it underneath is McGowan's, who draws the foul.
Yeah, and Brown there, picking up that foul is really good at reacting. He lets you jump off left. He lets you get off the floor first before he goes to block it. So when you're a big, the one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to leave your feet unless the shooter leaves his. Brown leaves it on lean a little bit and gets caught by McGowan, a veteran against a young guy.
So Brown will sit with the 2 quick personals here in the first quarter as a chat with DeVero on the way. Now Trey McGowan's. What a season he has had. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He dropped 19 on Calgary last month, right around the time Dave DeVero took over as interim head coach.
I think a big thing about Trey McGowan's too is him and Teddy Allen both went to Nebraska. They finished at Nebraska together, and I think that really helps the chemistry on and off the court.
First look at Mason Krause, who comes in for Trey McGowan's, another Winnipegger. And another foul, this time on Teddy Allen, and this is something that Dave DeVero talked about this week. He said, we need to be physical with Teddy. We gotta make him play defense and hold him accountable with defense.
Yeah, I totally agree. If you can attack Teddy Allen, you got to attack him.
Today's Western Conference game is presented by Cal Tire. How else do you want to attack?
Well, I just think you deny him the ball on offense when he doesn't have it, but when he has it on defense, you want to match up. He's your matchup. Run through it. Make him guard the player inside the post or at the rim.
1 point game, 4 minutes gone by, first quarter. Winnipeg and Calgary from the Canada Life Center, and there's Emmanuel Acott, the fourth-year pro, finishing with the left hand. And the finish and put back from Caleb Swanton-Roger.
We saw two nice moves there. We saw Acott with the nice take, and then the follow-up by Swanton-Rogers.
Back inside to Acott. What a find from Osborne.
Yeah, if you get Emmanuel Acott playing like they are and run through him, he's at a big advantage.
Here's Swanton-Roger again. Can't control his own rebound. Swanton-Roger, 6'11" Calgarian. Came to the CEBL by way of Edge Prep in Calgary and then the NCAA route.
Swanton-Rogers not going to have any plays run for him. So what he's got to do is got to be a great offensive rebounder. Shot goes up, he anticipates all shots as misses, goes up and eats a little bit of iron.
His 10th game with the Surge this season. And the bucket goes for Armani Chaney. So Chaney making his presence felt underneath. Simon Hildebrand couldn't get it to go. Controlled by Trayvon Scott, who's back in the lineup this week. Misfires on the three and collected by the Surge. Now again, it's Swanton-Roger with the emphatic slam dunk.
When you take bad shots or early shots, it leads to runouts. Swanton-Rogers does exactly what he's supposed to do. He runs the lane, and as a first big, gets down there and scores easy.
You know, it's interesting talking to DeViro this week. He said, we're a good transition team. We just don't do it a lot. And now in this opening quarter, we've seen a lot of fast break opportunities here for Calgary.
And a lot of it has been because of the defense has caused some long rebounds, and they've taken advantage of transition, you know, situations, 5-on-4, 4-on-3.
So Acott will take a breather. He has a game-high 6 points. Simon Hildebrand to the free throw line after this timeout.
If you're the biggest man on the floor, the ball will come your way. Hildebrand gets it, takes care of all the small guys around him, and finishes.
Welcome back to Winnipeg. I'm Joey Slattery inside Canada Life Center, which is affectionately known in the summertime as Teddy's house. Teddy Allen came into this franchise when it came into the inaugural season and was a huge fan favorite. And on April 2nd, there was the biggest news in the CEBL. He was signed to back onto the Sea Bears after he was released in 2024. And there was a meet and greet at a mall where there was a lineup going through the concourse when he came in, people getting their Teddy Allen merch signed. And he came back with a lot of expectation. He's living up to it. He's having an MVP season, leading the league in scoring nearly 30 points a game, and he's got more than 100 points total than the next leading scorer, which is Miles Powell in Scarborough. But he said, you know, the MVP race is out of his hands. He knows that he's playing well enough to get a look, but at the end, he wants to bring a championship to Winnipeg and put a storybook ending to this season. Guys.
Yeah, Joey, it's an interesting one with Allen. There's so many layers to it. He'll be the first to tell you, hey, in 2023, we would have won it all if not for injury. But now that he's back, Mike Rainbow's made the point. Teddy, just wasn't able to bring that one in, has fully bought in. It's a different approach, a different mindset, a different maturity from a guy who's now 28 years old.
He's always been Teddy Buckets.
Yeah.
But now he's Teddy more than buckets. He's Teddy basketball. He's playing both ends of the floor. He's the second in the league in steals. So he's trying to really build his game, and I think he's done a nice job on and off the court.
His last 3 games, 40 against Saskatchewan, then 35 and 33 in the back-to-back with Edmonton. Allen and the Sea Bears trail 4, 3.5 minutes to go. In the opening quarter from Winnipeg, the Sea Bears can clinch a playoff berth with a win tonight as Jeremiah Tillman has a couple of moves, a couple of bumps, and a finish with the left hand.
This makes Winnipeg so much tougher when they play through Tillman. And it's not like he's got Javonte Brown on him. He took care of the young Swanton on him and just made sure that he got to the rim.
Swanton Roger upended underneath. The bucket will count. And the foul on the Sea Bears.
Swanton Rogers does a nice job of getting to the rim. So he's looking for the alley-oop on this, and he's keeping his concentration, but he gets hit from below.
Meanwhile, Adonis Arms gets credit for the bucket.
Yeah, an assist to yourself.
Assist to And we have a foul away from the ball. This time it was on Swanton Roger on the moving screen.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Take the ball out of your team's hand. The young guy there got caught moving.
So Trey McGowan's the ball handler, 26-year-old, started his college career at the University of Pittsburgh, then went on to Nebraska, where again he was a teammate with Teddy Allen there. Tillman drew the double for a moment. Brings it out to Simon Hildebrand. Makes the spin move, runs out of space. And it's Swanton Roger who snatches down the rebound.
Yeah, nice double team there. Swanton Rogers comes over and helps. They kind of put Hildebrand in jail there.
Now the move. Doesn't drop. Arms had a real good lane. Now Allen hit in the face. No whistle, but drops the 3 anyway.
Yeah, but you see his patience on that. He let the flyby go. And then he didn't argue about it. The old Teddy Allen may have had something to say, but not this one.
And an offensive foul the other way. Hildebrand standing in front of Adonis Arms.
Hildebrand doing a nice job. So you get the flyby, you come back on defense in transition. He doesn't get it. In this case here, Hildebrand, steps up for the charge, takes it early. Scar Report's got, Arms as a rhino, so he's coming down the court looking to get to the rim.
What a season it's been for Simon Hildebrand, 3rd year in the CEBL. Had his best game on Thursday against Edmonton, logged 26 minutes, scored 21, was named the player of the game. And another foul away from the ball. 2nd personal on Calum Swanton Roger, trying to defend Jeremiah Tillman.
So as a coach, sometimes you like to play through the best matchup. And right now, Tillman is the best matchup. He's got Swanton Rogers inside. He's very comfortable. And if the double comes, he's a good enough passer that he'll create out of the post. This is a real nice situation. And Tillman can score. He had a big game against these guys earlier in the season with 21 points.
Tillman, 27 years old, from East St. Louis. Spent his entire college career at the University of Missouri. Knocks down both free throws, and Winnipeg takes a lead as we come up on 2 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. So Calgary came out hot early. Into the corner, and Matthew Comba unable to bring it in.
Nice job on that double team. They went, they went right after the point guard on that, and super job causing the turnover.
Here's McGowan's through the lane. Swanton-Roger brings it down. Getting quality minutes. Caleb Swanton-Roger, the Surge are. Averages 8.5 minutes a night. He's getting the bulk of the opening quarter minutes here as the bucket goes down for Addison Patterson, who you talked about at length in the pregame show.
Yeah, and you know what? This whole Calgary team, we talked about the key to the game was not settled. They haven't. They've done a real nice job of constantly putting pressure on the rim. Patterson does a super job there.
Tillman attacked hard, draws the block. It looked like the first bump was right at Swanton-Roger, who's slow getting up.
Yeah, he may have just made the mistake of sticking his chin in, and all of a sudden, pretty good defense. He just reaches in a little bit with his hand,
Oof.
and he got it square. That's right in the nose. That's a tough take, and that sucker hurts.
So Swanton-Roger, when you take a look at that replay, understandably is going to take a breather and head back into the dressing room area. Meanwhile, Tillman picked up a couple of texts last week against Edmonton, back into the lineup now. He's at the line. Trayvon Scott missed Thursday's game against Edmonton. He's back. And Winnipeg with a 1-point lead, final minute, opening quarter. Bugsy, no. Scott the rebound.
But I like what Ruggsy did. He had Tillman on him. He played through the match, and he took it to the basket. Just missing some bunnies here.
Now into the corner. The triple is good. Trey McGowan's.
Yeah, a little bit of dare me defense there by Calgary. You can't let their shooters get off on a bounce open three.
Winnipeg's largest lead of the day. It's 4. About a 12-second differential between the shot and game clock. Did they get it off? They did. It slips out. Rebound controlled by Scott. Sea Bears can hold for the final shot of the quarter. McGowan's through traffic. No. And it's the Sea Bears after 10 minutes who lead by 4 on their home floor. It's gone through Jeremiah Tillman, a game-high 7 points. The Sea Bears can clinch a postseason berth with a win today. The CEBL on CBC.
Two major
Back inside the Canada Life Centre, second quarter about to get underway in Winnipeg. The Sea Bears lead by 4. The Surge came out hot. The Sea Bears had an answer.
Yeah, I think the only blip on the Surge is the 0 for 4 from the free throw line because they've done a nice job of attacking the rim. And they're not a big three-point shooting team. They don't take a whole lot. But the one key guy I thought early for the Sea Bears, Manuel Aycott, put you in the spin cycle in the baseline, made his read. Then he finds himself, shows himself, gets behind the zone, scores easy. He does a nice job of, he's the veteran, he knows how to score easy, and he takes advantage of what you give him.
Missed both games against Calgary earlier this season, his 4th year in the league, 3rd season with the Sea Bears. Has started all 13 games that he's played this season. Second quarter underway in Winnipeg. Calgary Surge, and that is Addison Patterson with the Surge. Through the lane and the dunk.
After timeout plays are great. Coach DeVero had a nice setup on the screen, got Patterson in a mismatch going downhill.
So what a story Patterson is. Rookie in this league from Mississauga, Ontario, as he brings it in. One of the most highly touted young junior players in Canada. As it's been thrown away, went to Oregon, didn't work out, Nevada, didn't work out, was on the national team radar way back when. And one thing DeVero said is that he's finally found a home here and he's seeing inner peace from Addy.
And he's happy.
Yeah.
And you know, nothing's better than a happy player. He came off that screen, turned the roll, switched hands, and didn't lay it up, he finished it.
DeVero said we just got to let Addy be Addy as Isaiah Osborne does what Isaiah Osborne does.
That's 2 open shots that they've given Winnipeg from the corners. You've got to be able to help, but you got to close out. You can't give up open threes.
Doesn't go for Sincere carry. One and done possession for the Surge. And now the long pass underneath, and Ruggsy with the finish.
When you add players, one of the things that happens is you lose your rules on get back. And I tell you, Ruggsy Miller-Moore will take advantage of it. You give him a chance for a dunk, he will finish it.
Now Aycott again. Too strong off the window. You know, with Miller-Moore, Dave DeVero told us this week, everyone's scout is how to stop Ruggsy. How do you stop Ruggsy?
I think the one thing is, sometimes with Ruggsy, you want him to make decisions. Like, you don't want him to have the easy lane. You want him to be a shooter. You want him to find different things. Right now, he's just getting back to old Ruggsy and attacking the rim, and that's where he's the strongest and very difficult to guard.
Mason Krause draws the foul on Patterson.
So once you get the turnover, you've got to be able to take advantage of it. And all of a sudden, Ruggsy Miller-Moore finds the runway, gets his airspace, and puts it down.
back to Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba. The Calgary Surge have been on a bit of a run lately. They had a tough start to the season, but in the last few games, they've strung together 2 wins, and a big part of that is Addison Patterson. Now, Patterson has been playing for Dave DeViro for a number of years. They have a relationship that goes back a long way. He was an assistant for the Team Canada Global Jam team a few years ago, where he had Addison Patterson, and says that when you bring him up, it brings a smile to his face. He knows the obstacles that he's faced throughout his career, and he said the biggest thing, and Arash, you touched on this, the biggest thing he notices with Addison Patterson this year is that he has inner peace. He's smiling, he's having fun. You can see it here in the gym. He's having fun playing. He's playing with no pressure right now, it feels like, considering, you know, there's a lot on the line for Calgary. But this is a relationship that's really flourished here in Calgary, and Dave DeViro says he's just happy to be back with Addison. Guys.
Happy to be back indeed. As Patterson draws the foul there, it's interesting. DeViro said, look, I keep telling Addy, I trust you. I trust you. He said, as a coach right now, I just want to keep building him up, because DeViro feels with Patterson, the sky is still the limit for him.
And I think you do that by, defining his role. He's gone from a starter to a bench player, but his role on the team is much greater. Him and Javonte Brown, 2 young guys, are maybe the 2 main reasons this team has turned it around.
Patterson averages better than 11 points a night, knocks down both free throws there. Had a strong season at Eastern Michigan University, started every game this past season, was the 2nd leading scorer there. Shaves the lead down to 1. Now buckets. Teddy through traffic. Over Miller-Moore, doesn't fall, and Sincere Carey collects it.
Marlon Johnson, a real athletic player, long player who can guard inside and out, did a nice job on Teddy Allen there.
Nice find from Carey, doesn't go for Patterson. Carey faces Trey McGowan, tries to go left, gets a step, finds Patterson underneath, who finishes with the right hand.
The job of every player on the court is to be visible to the ball. Patterson does a great job of bailing out Carey by showing himself at the rim.
Yeah, DeViro said, look, with Carey, he said, he's tough and we needed to add toughness. Carey's gotten a lot of minutes since DeViro's taken over, and there is the 5th point of the night for Teddy Buckets.
Teddy has that counter. You try to take away his shot, he's got no problem scoring at the rim.
Star on star. Miller-Moore can't get it over Allen. Now Teddy through the lane. Yes.
Teddy starts scoring those 2s. It adds up.
Had the 1 from distance in the first quarter, and that was it, as Patterson's 3 rims out. Now Allen with space. And they're gonna nail Calgary for the loose ball foul. DJ Burns got bumped.
Teddy Allen is the king of heat check. You give him some confidence, he will take it. Patterson on the same hand. Look how he becomes visible. He comes from the corner. He knows his guard's in trouble, and he finds himself with that. It was an easy pass.
Little up and under for Patterson. As Simon Hildebrandt checks back in. Winnipeg leads by 3, coming up on the midway point of the 2nd quarter. They're to look for Hildebrandt, and he gets fouled.
So here's Hildebrandt, the local guy. You don't expect the lob, but he's all of 6'9". He takes it. He makes a nice eye contact with the inbounder and almost finishes it off.
Hildebrandt's a good free throw shooter. Hits it at a 92% clip from the line. Cal Tire, proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. You know, there's a lot of talk about what the future of this league is going to look like and how many Canadians, and Dave DeViro is steadfast about how vital it is that Canadians remain a focal point. And you look at what Simon Hildebrand has become in his 3rd year in the CEBL, somebody who began playing at the University of Manitoba and has just evolved so much as a professional thanks to the opportunities as a Canadian in this league as Miller Moore finishes with the flush.
Yeah, there's no question. Yeah, his confidence, the CEBL has helped him develop. He's been to the NCAA tournament. He's been to a couple schools. But I still believe if he would have just stayed in Canada, the University of Manitoba, he would have been the man. His offense may be further than it is now, but I'll tell you, Winnipeg has given him an opportunity, and he has taken it.
Headed to Germany to play professionally this fall as Miller Moore is way off on the 3. Allen just being hounded by Miller Moore. DeViro said, look, we can't guard him with one. They want to bring multiple looks. Hildebrand gets good position. 5 to shoot for Teddy Allen. And he uses every last second of the shot clock.
And if you watched him on that take, he had his eyes on Javonte Brown the entire time because he knew if the big guy was coming, he was going to pass it off. That's read and react basketball.
Teddy Allen, could this be MVP season number 2 in Winnipeg for him? As the Sea Bears have their largest lead of the day. It's now 8, and Teddy hit that one from the parking lot.
The king of heat check. Teddy Allen knows when he's feeling it, and what I like about it is he's letting it come to him. He hasn't forced anything.
The evolution of Teddy Allen as a player and the dominance of him as a talent.
So he reads the defense is off, Ruggsy Moore is off, I'm going to take advantage of this. And why was Ruggsy off? Because he was worried the last time he took him inside. And watch how he switches hands. It's an art to be a great layup maker. And that's learning how to finish against bigs with both hands. And Teddy Allen does a great job, and he's a great free throw shooter.
Game high 12 points for Allen. Yeah, he's a 91% free throw shooter. And he is the face of the franchise here in Winnipeg. One that is 7-0 at home this season. We mentioned it a couple of times. They have the opportunity to clinch a postseason berth. Meanwhile, work to do for Dave DeViro and the Calgary Surge.
Yeah, and it's a great timeout. You need that right there. Here's a guy from Phoenix who's been in this league for 5 seasons on 3 different teams. He's always been able to score. I really think he's learned how to play, become a better player. And I think if he's going to be a 2-time MVP, Winnipeg has to win the Western Pennant.
Talked to Teddy before the season. I asked him what's changed in his game over the last couple of years. He said, I've become a lot smarter on the defensive side of the ball, seeing the floor, and just overall my patience on the floor. It's just a different kind of vibe to him here in 2026.
And you look at his steals, he's second in the league in steals. So that's because he's playing good basketball off the ball.
Just under 4 minutes to go here at Canada Life Center. Rash Madani, Joe Razzo, Joey Slattery on the call. Coming up at the break, Donovan Bennett and the crew will be breaking down this first half as Armani Chaney is short from distance. It's Teddy again. It's a 3 again.
And that's a quick shot by Armani Chainer, leads to a leak out, easy shot for Teddy Allen. So your decisions all have consequences when it comes to it in basketball.
Chaney faces his former teammate, one that he developed a fast friendship with in Winnipeg. We'll tell you about that in the second half. Shot doesn't fall. Rebound corralled by the Surge. Hildebrand fighting for it. Krause emerges, finds buckets. Inside, and Tillman is wrapped up. A non-shooting foul as Miller Moore prevented that from being an easy 2 points.
So you make it the bad decision on offense. You don't get beat, you're going to be weak getting back defensively. Allen knows that. He spots himself up. He paces himself, uses a jab step to create a little bit of distance, and he just knocks it down.
Over a 7-footer.
And that 7-footer didn't want him going to the rim either. I didn't want to be Javonte Brown there.
Acott wanted a whistle, didn't get it. Here's Chaney on the break. And David Joplin traveled.
That's the second sleeper baseline out of bounds that Winnipeg has run against Calgary. So they've seen something on film, and they're looking to exploit it.
Joplin spent 4 years at Marquette, played in France last season before finding a spot in Calgary and the CEBL. Here's Hildebrandt. He's short. Putback doesn't go for Acott. He's rejected by Brown. Collected by Buckets. 8 on the shot clock. Double team is there. Kick back out to Hildebrandt. And it's Tillman, collects it, and one.
That is a highlight possession. That's one that you show in film room for days. 3 opportunities on rebounds, good ball movement, good decisions by Winnipeg.
Talk about effort, you talk about compete level. Had all of it as Acott is nailed for the foul.
So if you wanted to put the whole season into one package of plays, this is it. You work the ball around, you take the shot, give your team a second chance opportunity, you don't quit on it, you keep finishing. And this is the 3rd rebound they got on 1 possession, and 3 guys hit the floor.
And Emmanuel Acott just got teed up. He didn't like the call and continued to plead his case. He'll be the first to tell you the ball don't lie as Arms misfires on the free throw. 2:13 to go in the opening half.
God, if you're Winnipeg, you got to keep your emotions. You're playing so well. So there's a defensive foul movement. Acott thinks he's got a charge, but the last game Tillman took himself out because of fouls. You got to just show that maturity if you're Winnipeg.
Putback goes for Javonte Brown after Armani Chaney slithered through the lane. 11-point lead for the Sea Bears. The offense goes through Teddy Allen. He has 15. Simon Hildebrandt short again. He gets his own rebound. And it'll be Calgary ball with 1:41 to go in the second quarter.
Calgary's got to do a better job on the defensive boards. They did a great job early in the first quarter of getting those rebounds and running with it. Right now, they're giving Winnipeg way too many opportunities.
Here's David Joplin. Faces Mason Krause. Gets it over the former Manitoba Bison. Travion Scott chases down the rebound. Now Allen. Got some room to work. And just a blow by.
Yeah, you need help. You can't count on one person guarding Teddy Allen. You need some support. And they just put David Joplin, a real good player, in the spin cycle. So here's Joplin knowing that he needs a little bit of help. He's going to say, okay, baseline, where's my help? It's not there. And all of a sudden, Teddy just makes him into a highlight.
17 tonight for Teddy Allen, 14 in this quarter.
And it's not forced. Like, it's not his offense. His shot hasn't been the offense. The offense has gotten him his shot. Guys are looking for him on offensive rebounds. The quickness that Winnipeg can grab a rebound and find Teddy is ridiculous.
So now we have another tech, this time on Calgary. 4 imports on the court for the Surge. So an administrative tech.
So the responsibility of your assistant coaches is, because you have to have 2 Canadians on the floor, when a substitution is made, they got to make sure that they know it. The other team's assistants got to make sure they know that it's happening. And what happens is you start getting caught in situation in a frenzy. You make a substitution, but it doesn't match the quota.
Right.
And so someone's got to be responsible for it. Those hurt.
Those hurt, especially when you're 3-13 on the season, trying to dig out of the wreckage as the Surge are. What a move by Patterson. Addison Patterson is having himself a night. So too is Teddy Allen. A little too strong, but a loose ball foul on the Surge.
Yeah, Teddy with a nice downhill drive, but what's he do? He goes for his offensive rebound. Johnson gives him a little shove. He gets himself to the free throw line.
Two-handed push there from Marlon Johnson.
You know, competitors rebound, and Teddy's a competitor. He knows the shot's going to be a miss. He's there. He's fighting for it. He gets to the free throw line because of it.
Good sell from Allen as well. I mentioned it before, real good free throw shooter. 91.1% from the line this season. Follow at CEBL League on all social platforms to stay up to date on storylines, standout stats, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. Shout out to the throwback Sonics jersey.
Oh, the greatest in-game dunker of all time, Sean Kemp. Oh, I love that guy's jersey.
Final minute, Sea Bears lead by 14. Here's Armani Chaney. The pull-up is short. Hildebrand the rebound. And about a 10-second differential between the shot and game clocks. Teddy Allen, he's not waiting around. Fires one up. Here comes Chaney, gives it up, alley-oop.
And again, when Calgary rebounds, good things happen. They run out real well, but it only starts when you can stop the team from scoring, and that's with a rebound.
The flush from Marlon Johnson gets it down to 12. Tillman with the three doesn't go. He'll take one more shot at it. And at the half, it's the Winnipeg Sea Bears doing what the Winnipeg Sea Bears do. On the back of Teddy Allen's 20 points, it's the Sea Bears who lead by a dozen.
Yeah, they went on a Teddy run.
Yeah.
And he's capable of doing that. He just gets himself into situations where he can score. His efficiency is off the charts. And if you're Calgary, you got to make sure you don't take bad shots that feed into that fire.
Jeremiah Tillman, 9 points in this opening half against the Calgary Surge. And he's standing by with Joey Slattery.
Thanks, Sarash. Jeremiah, Teddy Allen has 20 points. A big reason for that is you guys dominating the offensive boards. You have 10 so far of your 28 rebounds are at the offensive end. How tough of a challenge has that been here in the first half?
They got some big guys. We've been struggling offensively and defensively on the rebounding end. So this week in practice, we've been making that a focus point. So we're just trying to make sure that we capitalize off the stuff we've been practicing on.
You guys went on a 16-6 run there in the first quarter after that timeout, but emotions started getting a little high on both sides. How important is that to keep in check going into the second half?
Just staying humble, staying poised. I mean, it's a long game. It's only the second half now, so second half hasn't even started, and we're already getting up and down. We're just trying to defend home court, that's all.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck in the second half. Arash, back to you.
Defend home court indeed, Joey. They are 7-0 inside Canada Life Center that has come alive this season. They come for Teddy Buckets. He's given them a show. 20 points in the opening half. Donovan and company on the other end. It's the CEBL on CBC.
Well, you can't say CEBL basketball is not physical, and it certainly is entertaining. Swanton Roger on the worst end of that, and then Ruggsy with the flush. It's an exciting one in Winnipeg. It's a fast-paced one. We're going to try to make sense of it for you. And we talked about a lot of players pregame. Shame on us because we didn't mention the former MVP, Teddy Allen. Well, he's having a loud first half, making sure we don't whisper his name. We talk about it loudly.
Yeah, you know, great scorers are great decision makers in flow. And Teddy Allen just had himself an absolutely fantastic first half. His decisions were great. He's a three-point shooter. They call him Teddy Buckets, but look at his decisions. You give him something, he will take it. He didn't force anything. You take away the shot, he goes backdoor on you. You give him the three, he'll take it. In transition, he slows himself down, slows the team down. You come out to guard him, he's going to go back and he's going to dissect you. And if you let him, he'll pass it too. So he has made some great decisions. This is like an asterisk. This is like 20 points, but great 20 points. And then he puts you in the spin cycle. Man, he just making some YouTube highlights out here for a lot of people.
Well, his 20 points, more than halfway to his average of 29. But for Calgary, 8 points in the paint and 8 fast break points have really helped them stay in the game.
Yeah, they started out guns blazing. They didn't set up from the outside. They got some really good stops on D and went out and they started running. They're putting pressure on them, so they're putting pressure on Winnipeg to get back and play defense. The early turnovers, what they're doing is really helping them be very effective at the beginning of the game. So here we are with Swanson not throwing it down from inside, and they get the rebound. They're doing what they said. They want to rebound and go. And here we are with another flush by Ruggsy.
And this is a Calgary team looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. Both teams streaking coming in. Winnipeg hoping to clinch a playoff spot. Well, one of those streaks is going to come to an end in this second half. It should be an exciting one from Winnipeg. After the break, Arash Madani and Joe Razzo maybe calling more raining threes from Teddy Allen. Stay with us.
Two
Just a heads up, you're looking for more CEBL action. Well, you can see it right there. You can see it on Gem. Montreal at Niagara. Montreal leads in the 4th. Brampton at Ottawa. Brampton with an early lead at the end of the 1st. And we are the spot when it comes to CEBL. Next Saturday, join us on this network as Edmonton visits St. Catharines. They face the Niagara River Lions, who are trying to change the course of things. You can watch that at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. It's part of a triple header of sport right here on CBC Sports Presents. And listen, this is an amazing time for basketball in our country. And last weekend, it was a banner occasion in Hamilton, a court blessed by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in a brand new building. You were there for the FIBA qualifiers, which Canada won over Puerto Rico and Jamaica handily, but I think the occasion was what won. What did you feel like being in the building for it?
I mean, the vibe was amazing. The Hamilton showed up and they showed out for Team Canada. They came in, they did what they needed to do, Team Canada, and Hamilton came in and did what they needed to do, support their team. They were the 6th man on the floor, and they did exactly what I thought any team would do when you're playing on home soil. As a player, you love it, and as a fan, you love it even more.
Well, with the TD Coliseum being beautiful, the lines down the street, could this be certainly producing great players, but a new home for Canada basketball?
Well, you're looking at someone who's gloating, you know, being
Yes.
from what I call the center of the earth in Hamilton. The 3 largest crowds since the 94 World Championships have been in Hamilton.
Wow.
So the city and the region, the whole area has embraced the men's national program and the women's national program. So the fact that they played the game there, got 12,000, I sat back disappointed thinking a little bit more work, we could have got 17,000. Because the guy with the keys to the city is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And the amount of kids around the arena wearing his jersey, you know, to me was incredible. You know, he's made his life in Hamilton. Him and his wife are both great athletes, local athletes. So it doesn't surprise me, and I think it's something that hopefully we'll see a little bit more of.
What I loved to see was that he was picking up full court. He wasn't just playing, he really wanted to get after it, and the community was supporting him. Speaking of community support, it's all about teddies, not only Teddy Allen, but teddy bears in Winnipeg. That's right, the Teddy Bear Toss, donating to the Children's Hospital, $5 from every Churchill bear sold. Great, great occasion and a great cause. Great job, everyone. Love to see it.
The CD
welcome back to Canada Life Center. I'm joined now by Calgary Surge head coach Dave DeViro. Dave, Teddy Allen, 20 points. You knew that he was going to get his buckets here tonight, but what do you need to do to slow him down in the second half?
I thought we did a good job overall. We lost him in transition sometimes, and when you lose Teddy in transition, he's going to make you pay for it. So we got to be better transition-wise and have some urgency in knowing where Teddy is on the floor.
For the second chance opportunities too, Winnipeg bringing down 11 offensive boards. How do you make that a little bit more difficult and for them getting those in the offensive end?
We got to compete, right? I mean, they're a big, strong team. They send guys to the glass. We got to be tougher. Challenge our guys a little bit to have to be tougher on our defensive end in terms of rebounding. So hopefully we respond.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck in the second half, Coach. Arash, back to you.
Yeah, Joey, Coach, thanks so much for that. Compete is something DeViro talked about with rebounds coming into it, and you know, that's been a big part of this first half.
So Calgary defining roles with the new roster. I think they've done a nice job of that. Some of the guys haven't stepped up and like you would want to control the ball on defense. Only 34%, but they've lost it in transition, like Coach said, and attack the rim. 30 points is great inside the paint for them, but they've got to knock down a couple threes.
Keys to the game presented by CDIC.
This is a confident team, and confidence is dangerous when you see them. Teddy needs a co-star. Well, Jeremiah Tillman really stepped up because they played through him and got Teddy some situations. And then the rebounds. You know, they rebounded with 5. The second chance opportunities, it was huge. I think they're playing right to the script.
11 of those 30 rebounds on the offensive end for Winnipeg, and how efficient is Teddy Allen? 20 points. 7 of 15 from the floor, has hit 3 triples. Third quarter underway here in Winnipeg. Isaiah Osborne getting things underway.
What a great set for Winnipeg. They used Allen as a decoy and get Osborne a nice, easy look.
Here's David Joplin facing Emmanuel Acott. 9 to shoot for Armani Chaney. Finds Javonte Brown, gives it up, and good. Adonis Arms with the bucket.
Yeah, I love the pass by Brown. Big man showed something there.
There's Tillman. Is it a jump? It is. Terrific interior defense there from David Joplin.
Yeah, and all about covering down. Rotation is huge. You need everybody to step in, especially those off the basketball. That's a turnover for Calgary. They've got to build on that now. Score, stop, score.
Little sweat on that basketball. They'll get that taken care of. And our officials today, Reed Scott, Neil Donnelly, and Reed Kenyon. Look at Adonis Arms, a 28-year-old from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A couple of years in the G League, a season over in China. Most recently was in Greece with AEK Athens. Here's Chaney, the former Sea Bear, the step back. And Joplin tried to control it, tapped it out of bounds.
Calgary team is very different when Chaney's on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, because he's a scoring point guard. You know, with Carey's the true traditional point guard. With Chaney, he's the point, and so there, you know, there's benefits in both, but there's also, you know, it hurts you a little bit. Sometimes more shot than pass happens.
Tillman wasn't able to clean up the rebound. Back to Joplin for 3. All of a sudden, it's Calgary shaving this lead down to 7.
You can't break until you board, and that's what happened. That hurt Calgary early. There, all 5 guys rebounded, and then they all broke out together.
Doesn't fall for McGowan's. Now in transition, Ruggsy, and it's a 5-point game. What a start to this second half for the Calgary Surge.
I like to call that a defensive run. Work on the D and let the offense come off of it.
9-0 spurt to open this third quarter. Now Tillman. And Chaney strips him. and an intentional foul on Jeremiah Tillman.
So I said defensive run because a defensive run means you stop the play and then you create. They run with 5, but all 5 guys stayed home to rebound. That's the difference. Coach DeVero said that in his interview, and they lived up to it.
So Cheney hits the free throw.
So whenever you grab a shirt or you don't make a play on the ball, it becomes an unsportsmanlike foul. Counts as a personal, but they get 1 shot and the play continues from that point.
So all of a sudden, a 3-point game. Calgary has scored the last 9 points, all 9 points of this third period. Now Miller-Moore. Remain Calgary ball. Looked like Javonte Brown was the last to touch it.
Make a coaching change. Your playbook's not as big. So here we go. We got a touch here, attack to the basket. Oh, I just think Brown may have just got a fingertip on there.
Kick back out to Joplin. Into the paint. Over the outstretched arms of Acott. And it's now an 11-0 Surge run and a 1-point game. Osborne thought about it. And a 3-second violation. Tillman again set up shop in the key.
Yeah, but I'm not going to blame Tillman on that turnover. I thought 3 times he was open. So if you look, every time the ball's touched, if you looked inside, Tillman's open. Again, Tillman's open. Next look, he's open. So he's trying to post up. Guys aren't seeing him there. Then it's a combination why you got 3 seconds.
Now Cheney off the window, and the Calgary Surge have the lead. Inside to Tillman, had position, can't finish. Rebound brought down by Arms. Who goes to work on Krause, finds Brown, and the foul. The body language, the frustration from the Sea Bears not looking good here.
How about Javonte Brown? He does it at one end, runs the floor at the other, and the young guy just shows up, gets the ball in the alley-oop, and looks to get to the free throw line.
Javonte Brown, a 51% free throw shooter. Been a big part of Calgary trying to dig out of the wreckage. They're 3-3 in their last 6. So if you're a Surge fan out there, if you're watching in Calgary, you have a chance to watch every game live from the WinSport Event Center. Get your tickets at calgarysurge.ca/tickets. Brown can't connect on either. Rebound corralled by Adonis Arms. Putback doesn't go. And it's Isaiah Osborne who comes down with it.
Gotta like the effort of Calgary there.
Now Krause from the pocket. And 3 free throws on the way for Mason Krause. And was there a tech that followed?
Yeah, I think Krause got the foul, and I think all I saw on the play was Coach DeVero helping the player up. So here's the fly. He goes, he gets his arm. No, I got no question, that's a foul.
Yeah, Adonis Arms hit Mason Krause, no question.
Trying to find out where the technical happens. May have been Adonis Arms coming back.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't be very good on the debating team if he's going to try to debate that one.
Still continuing the conversation. Arguably the best name in the CEBL, Adonis Arms. What a season it's been for Mason Krause, the 24-year-old. He's become a real factor in the Sea Bears rotation. only played 3 games last year. This has been a breakout campaign for him.
You're right on it, Rash. The confidence that he has and the coaching staff has for him, he plays a lot in target score time, which to me, is the measuring stick of how much they trust you.
Open the game, hitting the game-winning free throw in target score time against Edmonton. Played 29 minutes on Thursday as the 3 falls and the lead is extended after David Joplin dropped it. Now Krause, the penetration, the fadeaway. Here's Ruggsy. Sean Miller-Moore. And a timeout for Mike Rainbow. What a third quarter this has been for the Calgary Surge.
The track star takes you into the weight room. Ruggsy Miller-Moore with the step through on Trayvon Scott. The Surge are back.
Welcome back to Winnipeg. The Calgary Surge up 5 on the Sea Bears, and it's a bit of a homecoming for Armani Chaney, the point guard for the Calgary Surge. He started the season here in Winnipeg, and he was an integral part of the team's offense and defense. When he left, he was the 4th in scoring and 2nd in assists, but with the import rule, it just was the odd man out, so he had to be released, and Calgary picked him up right away. They were 0-10 at the time. He landed in Calgary and scored their first target time winner of the season. Head coach Dave DeViro says he's been integral to this offense because he brings scoring and speed, something that they lacked significantly. Not only that, his shooting. This is a team that has went from worst in three-point shooting to now well above average, so he's been a catalyst for this Surge team here in the second half of the season.
Joey, certainly the case, and Chaney's brought so much as Acot's bucket goes. As a point guard, Chaney can score. You mentioned the Surge needing better scoring, but more than that, the leadership that Chaney brings as he knocks down the triple. If he doesn't see something on the court he likes, he goes to DeViro. Dave said, I have full trust in him. And Chaney is holding guys accountable on this team. Some aren't used to it. When I spoke with Armani this week, he said, I've gotten to learn about all of my teammates so I can know how to connect with them.
Yeah, and the roles are different. Armani Chaney's a guy who needs the ball, who needs the opportunities. Here's a team that's only knocked down 1 3 in that first half. Now they're taking quality threes, and now it becomes contagious.
They've matched Winnipeg in knocking down three-point shots. Just a wrap on Chaney as the turnover is forced there. Arms gives it up to Ruggsy, and it's a double-digit Surge lead. Thrown away by the Sea Bears. Numbers for Calgary, and Miller-Moore is fouled.
Dita, I'm always amazed how you find the energy after you play solid defense to bust out on offense. It's like one court's uphill, this one's downhill. Calgary gets the ball, everybody's running downhill. When they see Ruggsy Moore, they know there's one place to give him the ball. That's way up in the air. Look at this 3. In this case, they reversed the ball, they beat them down with 5. Ruggsy Moore coming down the runway. This team is having fun, and I think they're stealing a little bit of Winnipeg's confidence.
They got the mojo now. And the question now for the Surge becomes a little bit of depth. Here they are, they're rolling right now. It doesn't appear we're gonna see Calum, Swanton, Roger again. And so for a team that only went 9 deep on Thursday in their win over Vancouver, they've gone 10 today. Can this unit, Ken going 8-9, be enough against what Mike Rainbow has on his bench?
I think in a 40-minute FIBA game, if you got 8 players and 4 guys who can cheer like heck, you're doing just fine.
All right. The 8 they've had, the 9 they've had have been terrific so far. Miller Moore over Tillman. No. Jeremiah the rebound. Buckets leads the fast break. And Tillman held on to the rim. And yeah, it's on the cylinder. It is wiped away on the offensive goaltender.
You can get the ball off the cylinder, but in his case, he grabbed one hand and then he got called for the offensive goaltend. So watch him grab the rim with one hand,
right,
with both hands before the ball went through.
So Bucket gets wiped away. Winnipeg only with 3 points in this third quarter so far. Back to Cheney for 3. Armani Cheney said, I'm myself again. He said, it feels fun again. He says, I have a chance now to be an elite point guard in this league, and he's showing it.
Yeah, you're right on, Arash. Just find the right role that suits you and fits you. Arash, you know, you got Cheney in the corner. You got to close out. You got to know in the scouting report, he is their #1 shooter. You can bluff to the other guys, but you can't give him that 3.
Has 17 already for the Surge. Armani Cheney has knocked down 3 from distance. Largest lead of the night for Calgary is finally a bucket from Winnipeg. That time it was DJ Burns. Lead cut down to 12. Heat check from Cheney doesn't go. Rebound corralled by him. He kicks it back out to Miller Moore. The 3 doesn't fall. Osborne the rebound. He gets it back from Burns. Doesn't drop. And Adonis Arms got bumped, and Calgary will slow it down.
I think the rim's bigger on one end of the floor because Winnipeg and Calgary look like the complete opposite of each other this half.
Hildebrandt gets in the way of the Miller Moore pass. And DJ Burns was just waiting for the feed from Teddy Buckets. Timeout, Dave DeViro, and the lead is down to 10.
You can sense a little fatigue, but DJ Burns, the defensive guy, steps back, gets on the floor, shows himself. He gets down the court quickly, and he scores one of the few easy opportunities that Winnipeg has had.
So this third quarter began with a 15-0 Surge run.
Those are things you want to save for target score time.
Yeah. Alongside the coach, Joe Razzo, I'm Arash Madani. It's great to have you with us. Joey Slattery is down courtside following everything that's happening at the Canada Life Center. Just when it seemed like Winnipeg had kind of taken over this game, dominating this game, the Teddy Buckets show with 20 in the first half, here have come the Calgary Surge, and they've done it in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, but I'm going to give credit to Coach DeVero. That half ended, he shook everybody's hands as they left the floor. And then he got them no X and O's. He just said, listen, our intensity, our urgency, we have to play harder. He convinced them that we've got the right formula. We just have to play differently. And they are a completely different team.
He talked about compete coming out, especially on the glass. Cal Tire Cruise of the Game is presented by Cal Tire.
And cruise of the game. It should be like the flight of the game with Ruggsy Miller-Moore, because you know you can't overthrow him. You just put it up and he will take care of it.
DeVero told us Ruggsy Miller-Moore is the leader of our team when it comes to scoring. They know who he is offensively. They're trying to find out different ways that Miller-Moore can contribute. You take a look at some of the great names in the history of this league. Look who's right there at the top.
And you know what? He plays to his strength. His strength is at the rim. You know, if you can force him to shoot the basketball, then that might be to your advantage. But if you allow him to attack the rim, then you're in trouble.
Out of the timeout, 2:22 to go in the third quarter. Calgary Surge trying to make something of their season. Dave DeVero said, we have not even discussed playoffs at all. They're just trying to find their way. 3-3 in their last 6, 3-13 overall as Javonte Brown shows some strength underneath.
A solid after timeout play, a real nice traditional play. Get Brown the ball going to the rim.
There's Teddy Allen, who's fouled. Now, if you look in the second row behind one of the Surge assistant coaches, Caleb Swanton-Roger is sitting there with a hoodie on. Doesn't appear as if he's coming back into this game, so the Surge lose a little size with their 6'11" post player there.
Yeah, and that just means Javonte Brown got to step up a little bit.
Well, nobody sells tickets in Winnipeg like Teddy Buckets does. If you're trying to get down to the Canada Life Center in downtown Winnipeg, be part of the Sea Bears summer. You can pick up your seats by visiting seabears.ca/tickets.
So, Brash, to get back to what you were saying about Swan Rogers sitting down now, it doesn't look like he's going to play.
Yeah.
The key part there, that affects the quota.
Right.
So all of a sudden your rotation is you got a second big as a Canadian. Well, now you don't. So now somebody else has to step up, or you may have to play smaller.
Could Addison Patterson perhaps just play out of position? That becomes a question. You see Marlon Johnson Jr. check in now for the Surge. He gives them a little bit of length. Teddy Allen. And Sincere Carey snatches the rebound.
Now Carey will run this team a little bit different than Cheney. He'll look to get everybody involved.
Five to shoot for the Surge. And over Osborne, the triple goes for David Joplin.
Sometimes the easiest shot is with 1 second on the shot clock because you have no choice.
Only the 5th game for Joplin. Patterson can't believe the whistle. He may have a point.
Talk about a fortunate finish. Here's you run down with 1 second on the shot clock, so all of a sudden the pressure's off you. You get it, he lets you know.
And Osborne couldn't believe it.
This player from Marquette is nice. He plays solid basketball on both ends of the floor and has been giving them a number of key moments.
Meanwhile, DJ Burns at the line for Winnipeg. From Rock Hill, South Carolina. He was big early, 6'7" in 8th grade. Now measures up at 6'9".
Got a funky free throw there, but if it goes in, you can't complain.
Tillman back in. Burns arrived in mid-June in Winnipeg. This is his 8th game for the Sea Bears. Lead is 12 for Calgary, and it drops for Joplin. First the 3, then that.
So all of a sudden, Calgary's shooting the ball a little bit better. Now the court is spaced out. Those plays weren't there in the first half.
Here's Tillman, puts it on the deck. Bucket, and the foul.
Yeah, Tillman was a man there. he had Marlon Johnson hanging on to him.
The patience there from Jeremiah Tillman.
So get big as a big, regroup, watch his legs. He powers through the contact, and he's not looking to get to the free throw line. He's looking to score. And one of the benefits of that is he gets the and one.
Can't convert the three-point play, but it's Osborne who makes it a four-point play.
You make the mental mistake. Marlon Johnson ran it down, but then just got casual with it. And Winnipeg gets a big bucket.
Does Calgary go 2 for 1 here? It doesn't appear so. Here's Sincere Carey. Going to work on Isaiah Osborne. Kicks it back out. Joplin again. And it's McGowans who emerges from the wreckage. Coast to coast for Trey McGowans. Calgary can hold for the last shot. Carey at the horn, and life from the Sea Bears. A third quarter dominated by the Calgary Surge.
Take off the tuxedo, hit the floor, good things happen. Trey McGowans gets on the court and finishes it with a steal and a score.
8-point game. Can the Surge hang on? It's the CEBL on CBC. Back to Winnipeg, the Calgary Surge scored 35 points in the first half, 36 in the third quarter.
Yeah, they can start off one for 8 and then go 6 for 10. The weakest shooting three-point shooting team in the league, but what do? It's who's taking the shots. And both Joplin and Cheney have been the guys taking the threes for them, and they have been raining in this half.
The Surge outscoring the Sea Bears by 20 points in the third quarter. The three-point buckets have come alive, and Dave DeViro preached effort on the glass. The rebounding numbers have really shifted.
It's funny, eh? The rebounding numbers and the scoring and the lead change. All of a sudden, they were down 7 at half, and now they're in the lead.
DeViro's talked about this turnaround, how the Surge have gotten back to playing better basketball. He said, we're just not settling for bad shots. We've seen a lot of that so far tonight. Fourth quarter underway here in Winnipeg. The Surge lead by 8. Arash Madani, Joe Razzo, Joey Slattery, our entire CEBL on CBC crew. McGowans doesn't get it to go. A little awkward getting up, but it looks like Trey's okay.
First minute of this quarter is huge because Teddy's on the bench right now getting his blow. you're Calgary, you can't get caught settling. You got to go back to what you were doing.
For how long will Teddy Allen be on the bench? We're just about 5 or so minutes away from target score time. And that's when this all gets really real. Here's McGowan's, has the lane.
I'd like to give an assist to DJ Burns there, who boxed his man out and opened that lane like it was the 401.
Here's McGowan's working on Joplin in the corner. And a whistle comes with 2 on the shot clock.
Oh, that's heartbreaking if you're Winnipeg. That was a great double team.
Let's go courtside to Joey Slattery.
Yeah, Rash, I was listening in to the quarter break of the Sea Bears, and Jeremy Walinga, the assistant coach of the Sea Bears, came up to me and said, well, we've had better quarters, but I like that we had a little bit of life at the end of the third. Mike Rainbow driving home that these guys have to keep working and cannot take a possession off at either end. He felt like they were taking their foot off the gas, and now the urgency needs to pick up. Guys.
Yeah, the urgency is about to ramp up too, Joey. We're coming up on target score time at the 4-minute mark. Aycott, a little bit of a push-off, slips out, Carey the rebound.
Calgary with 3 threes in this quarter. Not what the script says. Now they step inside. Sincere Carey, the veteran point guard, makes the right play.
Yeah, we talked to Dave DeVero about Carey this week. He said, sin is tough, and we needed toughness. First game for Carey against Winnipeg as Aycott goes to work on Addison Patterson. 6 to shoot. Picked up by Tillman. Running out of time. And gets it just in time.
Seen a couple buzzer beaters.
6-point Calgary lead. Here's Miller Moore. Way off. Allen the rebound. Held to only 1 point in the third quarter. Teddy buckets off. Trey McGowan's on.
And you always got to know who the leader of the band is. And Teddy Buckets hasn't seen enough shots this half. But watch it. What a nice rebound by McGowan's. Ball goes up, Buckets shoots it, McGowan's gets the rebound and 1. How about Tillman here? Doesn't panic, the veteran gets the ball, he knows the clock's running down, gets his pace, knocks it down. Wouldn't it be nice to hit a jumper over a footer?
It would. 3-point play completed. Winnipeg gets it back to a 3-point advantage as Isaiah Osborne checks back in. 2-time national champion with the Carleton Ravens. McGowan's comes off the floor. Real toughness from McGowan's here for the Sea Bears. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes to go until target score time. Here's Allen. And it's thrown away. Teddy Allen, terrific perimeter defense there.
Yeah, I always said a good pass is a good pass if the person you throw it to can catch it.
Right.
Had just a little bit too much mustard for the big guy.
Teddy goes right, retreats, back to Osborne. He's stripped. Now to Cheney. Aycott hounding Armani Cheney. And it's thrown away. And 1-point game. Isaiah Osborne finishes in transition.
If you play defense long enough and play it hard, good things will happen. Isaiah Osborne read that reversal, got in there and did a nice job. And I thought Calgary gave up a couple opportunities.
What a pro Isaiah Osborne is. His 58th career CEBL game.
Yeah, you know you're old when you recruited his dad. And his dad could do that back then too. Isaiah Osborne did a nice job of jumping the lane.
Osborne originally from Windsor, Ontario. Started his college career at UTEP in Texas El Paso before heading to the Ravens. He's played professionally all over Eastern Europe. So this is how things look in the redtag.ca path to the playoffs. A win today for Winnipeg clinches a postseason berth for them and for the Vancouver Bandits. You see the Eastern Conference, so much happening all over the place. That's wide open there.
Yeah, but I look at that Winnipeg-Vancouver. It's that lost area. You know, the 5 losses, you want to stay 2 ahead because these 2 teams have Vancouver and Winnipeg see each other 2 more times.
Yeah. And the question now for the Sea Bears becomes, what may they have added into the mix? Xavier Moon has been a scratch for the better part of the last 5 weeks. There is not really any indication given on when, how, if Moon is going to get his FIBA clearance. One of the most impactful players in league history, and yet Xavier has just been ineligible to play.
Yeah, you know when the MVP trophy's named after you, you've had an impact on the league. But in Xavier's case, the problem is, we talk about clearances, so when you play in every country, you need a clearance from your local federation.
Right.
His last contract was in Russia.
Yes.
And things are a little difficult in dealing with it. So now it's not that Basketball Canada, he needs the clearance from the Russian Federation and from the team he played there. That's where the problem right now exists. Once that clearance comes, he'll be ready to play, and hopefully that comes sooner rather than later.
Moon has been around the Winnipeg team at practices and the rest over the last number of weeks. There needs to be a resolution in the next week if Moon is to be eligible for the playoffs, as Teddy Allen finishes with the right hand, and the Sea Bears have retaken the lead.
Everything comes from defense. You play good defense, the basketball gods reward you on the other end.
Here's Cheney for 3. And Tillman brings it down. Teddy gives it up to Trayvon Scott. Now Calgary, they like to run. Arms misfires from the corner. Patterson, did it go off Addison? No, it went off a Sea Bear.
Defense to offense is the recipe. You take good job, you take care of the ball, you rebound, and then once you rebound, you look at moving it, and then what's the end result? You run with 5, somebody gets open. In this case here, Teddy creates it with himself with a nice change of pace dribble.
So under a minute to go until we get to target score time. What a showcase of hoops this has been on a Sunday afternoon in Canada's Pro Basketball League. Winnipeg Sea Bears, the class of the Western Conference. The Calgary Surge making their way back into relevance. A game of runs. The Surge had theirs in the 3rd quarter. Winnipeg gets back into it here in the 4th. This is Adonis Arms. Faces Jeremiah Tillman, gets by him, can't finish underneath. And a loose ball foul on the Surge. It felt like both Joplin and Teddy Allen had equal space for it.
Loose ball fouls often happen when you're just a little bit tired. Here's a good take, but Tillman becomes 6'10" on that. And then it's a matter of the first guy to the ball gets the call. And Teddy gets there first, and Joplin loses the battle on that call.
Winnipeg leads by 1. Allen has the lane, blocked underneath. Javonte Brown redirected it. Cheney swings it. Joplin, 3, no. And Osborne the rebound.
Calgary had a 5-on-4 there.
Target score time at the next whistle. McGowan. Three to shoot. Teddy takes a look and doesn't get it off on time.
And with that, you go into target score time, and Calgary gets the ball to start.
We step aside, target score time awaits in Winnipeg. Back in Winnipeg, it is target score time. Sea Bears, Surge, the two stars who've been held in check. Teddy Allen, only 3 points in this second half so far. And Rugsy Miller-Moore, 12 points on the night. Let's go down to Joey Slattery.
Calgary during that break. And hey, you just said it, Teddy Allen has slowed right down in the second half, and we've seen this before. And we talked with Dave DeViro beforehand, before this game, and he said you have to pay attention to him at all times because he can get cheat at any second. His message to the team coming out of the break, target Teddy. Target Teddy. So it'll be a difficult run for him here in the target time score.
First to 83 will win it here in target score time. Here's Teddy Allen going to work on Patterson.
Rugsy Miller-Moore on the bench to start target time, and that's so because of the defense. Roles have changed, so they played a little bit of defense first right now.
So Calgary empty on the first couple of possessions of target score time. Here is the second possession of TGT for the Sea Bears. They're looking for Tillman. Ball comes into the big man. He goes to work on Brown. Little too strong off the window. And it will be Sea Bears ball.
I love the bluff by Joplin. Sometimes a double team isn't necessary when you come with the bluff. Joplin goes with the bluff. A bunch of hands get on this offensive rebound. And there is no video review this year in the CBL. That definitely goes off Joplin's foot.
Osborne looking for the call, didn't get it. 10 to shoot for Tillman. Swung to the top. Trayvon Scott is short. Cheney gives it up. Long pass, and the finish for Addison Patterson.
That's discipline if you're Winnipeg. There's get-back rules. When that shot goes up, two guys should have been getting back on defense, and guys end up being spectators, and they paid the price.
First to 83 wins it. Here's Teddy Allen. No. Now Cheney gets by his former teammate, but he's unable to finish. Emmanuel Aycott the rebound. Back to Osborne. And he's fouled.
Yeah, attack, 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 both these teams. Cheney goes hard, but he's got to deal with the 6'11". But you look at Osborne, he gets it. His eyes are at the rim. He's looking for the dunk, and he makes Brown come after him. So, run in transition. You don't get back, you pay the price. Patterson sneaks out, nobody's back. That's defensive discipline.
12 tonight for Addison Patterson.
You know, Rash, the key in target score time that I've seen over the years since it's come in is discipline. You have to be who you are. Don't go changing what you are. Don't go hunting for your shots. You know, so I've seen teams like, you know, hunt for the threes because they're only 3 points out. Keep doing what you want to do, but you got to emphasize the defensive end. You got to give yourself multiple opportunities.
Which you're seeing with personnel here from DeViro as Ruggsy Miller-Moore remains on the bench. Osborne, the 85% free throw shooter, hits 1 of 2. And tied at 75. First to 83, wins it in target score time. Adonis Arms draws the block.
Yeah, and look, Teddy did a nice job of trying to sell it, but his feet were moving. Arms looked like he dumped a shoulder in there. But watch Teddy's feet, they're moving, but Arms definitely looks to bend down a little bit. Teddy does a nice job of selling it.
And I've just checked with my sources. There will be no VAR review here tonight on that call.
The other thing about target score time, it's ruled the same way you would the last 2 minutes of CEBL.
Right.
So if you're scored upon, you can make your substitution. So this is sometimes you'll find teams will go defense to offense.
Arms missed both games against Winnipeg last month. Has been solid in this second half for the Surge. And Calgary is now 6 points away. Allen finds McGowan's, gets his own rebound. The handoff back to Aycott. Now McGowan's with 5 to shoot. Into traffic, Patterson redirects it, but Cheney stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, Winnipeg very fortunate, did a nice job on the rebounds, but they couldn't find Teddy Allen. The defense by Calgary is superb right now. They're not letting Allen touch the ball, almost got a break going there. That's the way the ball bounces.
The way the ball bounces. So they rule that it was not a change of possession, so 14 on the shot clock.
Both teams have done a nice job of not fouling because fouls that counts. It's the penalty that gets you down, you know, target score. So the fact that they've only had 3 fouls each is very important.
Dave DeViro looking for an explanation. Trey McGowan's will inbound to Teddy Allen. The hook shot doesn't go. Rebound collected by Patterson. Cheney, Joplin. And the dunk for Javonte Brown, but hold on. Right, so what a sequence there. I mean, Joplin slips, he falls, no travel, the play stops, and the officials will now ask for a towel off the floor.
So let's go back a little further. You know, you've got...
Take a look.
Tillman slips here. So Tillman slips, He doesn't get up quick enough. Now you've got 5-on-4. So 5-on-4 till Tillman gets there. Here's the slip, and the pass is made. But
is that a travel?
no, because it's just like on FIBA. I think it's like when you're on the ground, you can still keep the ball alive.
Right. After all of that, Calgary leads 4 and 4 points away from a win in target score time. Canada's Pro Basketball League is back. This is season 8 of the CEBL. You can catch every dunk, three-pointer, and target score winner live this summer, coast to coast, on CBC Gem. All right, so 4-point game. Sean Rugsy Miller-Moore has been on the bench for most of target score time for Calgary. All of target score time. Do we see 0-0 onto the floor now for the Surge?
I think the Surge is liking with the group that they have right now. The fact that they're talking about they're winning this on the defensive end, so I don't think they're going to change that there. The Surge need 2 possessions, right? That's in their mind right now. They need 2. They need a 3 and a 1, but they need 2 possessions to win this game. Winnipeg on the other end, they're talking about what we're going to do to score at one end, but they got to play some defense.
Yeah. Fans of all ages, it's one of the best atmospheres in Canada's Summer Pro Basketball League. Here come the Sea Bears. No Miller-Moore for the Surge. Teddy Allen sets the screen. Now Trey McGowan's, he loses control. And it should remain Winnipeg ball with 6 on the shot clock.
Yeah, there's definitely some issues they're having on both ends of the floor there.
It is a hot, humid day in Winnipeg. With the Humidex, it is 42 Celsius, and you wonder how much that is playing a factor in the moisture on the court.
So McGowan does exactly what he's supposed to. He doesn't panic. He looks for his guide. He throws a heck of a bounce pass out.
Let's go back to Joey.
Thanks, Suresh. Yeah, you just touched on the humidity. That is a real thing in here right now. I mean, the air conditioning's on, but it's still very, very warm in here, and you could see that's having an effect on the floor. I was also listening into the Sea Bears at the break and the timeout, and, you know, Mike Rainbow keeping things cool, telling him just to settle down, focus on the possessions, get the right shot, no need to be a hero right now.
Allen gets off the big shot. Joey, thank you for that. Gets it back from the pocket. Good.
I think the decision made there was great. Coach DeVera wanted a timeout. He couldn't communicate it. I'm surprised he didn't get it.
Cheney stripped by Akot. And it's Cheney who comes back with it. Numbers for Calgary. And it's a block twice. First from Scott, then by Osborne, but Arms is fouled. What a sequence there.
So it all starts again on the defense. So they get back, but watch the block. That's fun because guys are, Akot got back, or Tom got back, and now you're looking for the jump. It's the reach in. Arms moves himself so he doesn't allow them to reach in. So here you go. You're working on your defense. The shot goes up. The key part here is, what does he do when he gets the rebound? He finds Teddy Buckets. Teddy Buckets hasn't had too many open looks this half. I think in Winnipeg they call that dump and chase.
They do. So 26 for Teddy Allen. 6 of them in this second half. We are in target score time. The first to 83 wins it. A victory clinches a postseason berth for the Sea Bears. Calgary just trying to stay in the hunt. Start of the year 0-10. They're 3-3 in their last 6. And free throws on the way for Adonis Arms.
And here's a team that's been struggling at the line today in attempts and makes.
Arms an 82.6% free throw shooter.
Huge difference being down 3-2. And the key part is the defense can stop you from getting the 3 off by fouling you.
Arms 2 of 7 from the line, and the loose ball foul going the other way.
It's amazing, Arash, when you go to the floor, good things happen.
Yeah.
Here's Acott, the first to the ball. Arms maybe a little frustrated, he missed it, but again, because they only had 3 team fouls, that doesn't hurt them as bad. So Acott gets to it, Arms goes, but that's only the 4th team foul. It could have been disastrous if they were in the penalty.
9 rebounds for Acott, and Teddy's foul.
With Teddy Allen, you can't wait for him. You have to pick him up. You have to force him one way or the other. What happened there was Calgary let Teddy come downhill, and they became victims because they were waiting for him. Joplin looked like he was trying to get out of the way, but Teddy kind of just pushed himself into Joplin's space. So stop him early. If you don't, that Teddy created that contact.
Yeah.
That's all, that Teddy created, so he sells it. But the key part, if you're Calgary, you got to meet him early and dictate which way he's going.
One of the first lines on the scouting report for Teddy Allen, Dave DeViro said he does a good job of drawing fouls. Go figure. Winnipeg 1 possession away.
This is where all the scenarios in time to score you play. If you're Calgary, you need a score, and then you're going to foul so you don't give up the 3.
Here's Patterson. Slithers through. Now the Surge a bucket away.
It's important that the Surge don't give up a 3. I'm surprised they haven't fouled yet.
Here's Allen. Loses the handle. Calgary can win it with a bucket. And Patterson goes down hard. And free throws coming up. That was an awkward fall and a loud bang when Addison Patterson hit the deck.
How about that steal?
Oh.
Here I am saying foul, and Coach DeVero came into this target score time with his defensive team and has an opportunity to win this game on a defensive play.
Teddy Allen kind of dribbled into a double team. And then Addison Patterson on the other end got hit twice.
So he did exactly what Teddy did on the other play where he drew the contact, and then it was the second guy, McGowan's, came in and got him with the hip check.
So Dave DeViro has continued to tell Addison Patterson, I trust you, I believe in you, and Addison Patterson can win this thing right here for the Calgary Surge. Short. Now, there's a rebound, an inadvertent horn.
Yeah, so the horn went off as though the game was over. This is a delicate one where the officials have to sit back. They have to determine did Calgary have the rebound?
It sure appeared as if Adonis Arms had the basketball.
Or do they go to a jump ball? So the horn goes. Does he have possession first when the horn goes? He definitely has possession, but does the horn go before he has possession?
Mike Rainbow, Dave DeViro awaiting.
Oh, it's a foul.
So now this can do it. Adonis Arms. Two for 8 now at the line.
Some people say they don't like target score because they don't like the game end on free throws. The amount of pressure that's on you right now in front of 12,000 people is incredible. I love this situation.
Adonis Arms can win it here for the Calgary Surge. And it will be...
Oh, I think Javonte Brown, I want to see how they play it. That's 2 rebounds, missed shots that the Sea Bears just haven't done a great job of.
Didn't see where the officials point. I believe it's Winnipeg ball.
Well, no, based on 14 seconds, that's a reset count.
Yeah.
So that's got to be Calgary's ball. They've determined Calgary's ball. And again, there's no VAR this year,
right,
so that you can't go to video review. So, and the key here, it's not boxing up, it's boxing up. And all of a sudden, finish the play.
And so Javonte Brown wanted a goaltend. And he's not going to get that call on Jeremiah Tillman.
But because of the pressure Brown put on Tillman, he buried him under the basket a little bit. Tillman couldn't go up there with 2 hands. Give an assist to Brown on that.
By the way, we are back at it next week. The Niagara River Lions, Edmonton Stingers. It's going to be at the Meridian Center, 3:30 Eastern, 1:30 Mountain Time. If that one is going to be anything like this, we are in for a treat.
Arash, I think this is where you talk about time to score and personality. I think if you're Calgary, you're looking for a nice set play or get to the free throw line, you're looking to score.
You bring Ruggsy in here.
You may, if you've got a play that you really like. But on the defensive end, the key part is you can't give Winnipeg a 3. So you might want to foul and give them 2 free throws so that you don't give a 3. All this is being discussed in the timeouts on both benches.
So after all of that, another chance here for the Surge.
Tough place to take the ball out of bounds.
Here's Patterson. Working on Osborne, back to Cheney. The former Sea Bear. For the win! And Armani does it! The return, the bucket, the win! And Armani Cheney reminding Winnipeggers what they once had. The Calgary Surge are back. 4-3 in their last 7. And what a statement made by Armani Cheney.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy can get them. And at the very end, they did a great job in those last 3 seconds. Indecision on the defense of Winnipeg gives Cheney a shot. Here's the switch. So now you switch, you got to commit to it. Tillman doesn't and gives Cheney the open shot. He's the guy who wouldn't let shoot.
And by the time Acott realized it was too late.
Well, Acott had to make the switch. This was Cheney having to step out. It just, you put enough indecision in their mind, good things happen, and this guy's willing to take the big shot.
It was Armani Cheney this week. He said, I feel like myself again. He says, basketball feels fun again. He said, now I have a chance to be an elite point guard, and he shows it.
There's some guys who like to drive the bus, and there's others who like to sit on the bus. He is definitely a bus driver. That's the role that he embraces, and that's the role that he's best at, and Calgary has given him that position.
20-point show for Cheney. Dave DeViro has turned things around for the Calgary Surge. Today's player of the game is presented by Booster Juice. Let's go courtside to Joey, who's with the man of the hour.
All right, thanks, Arash. Armani, you come in here, 20 points, none more important than that last 3-pointer to win this game. How does it feel to come back to Winnipeg and hit that shot?
Surreal. You know, it's crazy. When we was missing the free throws, I was thinking, like, maybe God designed it for me to just, you know, make the winner, and that's what happened.
Now, this is 3 wins in a row, and all of your wins have come against teams that are at the top of the standings. What's been working with this team that's turned things around so dramatically in this last week?
We've just been trying to be different. You know, we come in every day and work hard and, you know, try to be good teammates to one another and, you know, move the ball, play together, play defense, play hard. And, you know, the ball has energy, so when you pass it and, you know, you're excited for others, good things happen.
Well, this was a passed-up opportunity for Winnipeg to clinch a playoff spot. You get them again in just a few days at home, and they still have a chance to do so. How do you keep this momentum going as you go back to Calgary?
Just got to keep going, take it day by day. Every moment is different, and every situation is different. I think we're in a unique situation. Obviously, me going over there and starting 0-10, it's a big difference, and now we trending in the right direction, and we just got to keep maximizing and keep getting better each and every day.
Well, congratulations on this win. Enjoy it, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, Arash.
Yeah, kill him.
That my teammates can lean on. From 0-10 to now 4-3 in their last 7, the Calgary Surge are still alive. Donovan and the panel have it when we return.
If you weren't a target time believer, you are now. What a finish in Winnipeg. Locally, I don't know if they loved it, but it was exciting nonetheless. Donovan Bennett, Joe Razzo, Tamara Tin. I don't even know where to start. Why don't we start with target time? Because it looked like multiple times Winnipeg had been back into the game, actually started the lead with target time, but Calgary just kept plugging away, even though they struggled from the line.
Yeah, and Calgary did it on defense. Like, they built this target time on defense. They said, score, stop, score, repeat. And they did a nice job, but then they got to the free throw line. And you know what happens? It's sometimes contagious. You miss one, you miss one. Everybody says target score is no fun when you win the game on a free throw. I disagree, but they stayed with it. They gave themselves 2 opportunities, because on those misses, they got 2 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, this is Adonis Arms, a guy who was 19 of 23 from the line on the year, 2 of 5 on the game, 3 misses in a row when they could put it away. But Armani Chaney was not afraid of putting it away. Coming back against his old team, he says, drop coverage, Tamara? Well, shut him down and open up shop when I drop that in you.
Oh, he had a great second half, and this is just indicative of that. He showed exactly what he does as a point guard. He controlled the pace, and that big shot in the end not only kept the team in the game, but it also won the game for them.
It seems like it was 2 weeks ago, but Calgary really seemed like they had the game under control in that third quarter, winning the third quarter by 20 when they went into the third quarter down double digits. What worked for the Surge to surge back after the halftime break?
Well, you know, they stuck together and they had fun. They did what they do best, and they went out and they ran in transition to start their quarter. They went on a 13-0 run to start that quarter, and they also did what they needed. They knew they needed a little bit more than just getting points in the paint. They had 54 points in the paint, but they started to knock it down from the outside. They made a few threes from the outside, and that really got them a little bit more momentum, and it got them the opportunity to really control the pace. Here's Chaney. He had a tremendous second half. Not just controlling the pace, but also knocking down shots for their team. And they kept going back to their bread and butter, and that's getting in the paint and scoring. Here's their leading scorer and their all-time leading scorer, the league's all-time leading scorer, Ruggsy, with another 2.
So we didn't see Ruggsy down the stretch. We'll see him certainly down the stretch in this season. But let's make sense of what this means for this team down the stretch this year. They clawed back a little bit to Edmonton and Saskatoon in the standings, who weren't in action today. But more importantly, down the stretch, 6 of their last 7 are against Western opponents. Coach Dave DeVero said he hasn't talked playoffs with his team yet. Should he start?
You know what? I would just do what I'm doing. Like, I just think he started with a streak of 1, and let's get this thing going. But he's got the point where failure's not fatal yet. So he knows that, and he's got these guys believing. I thought they stole some of Winnipeg's confidence. And all of a sudden now, this is a dangerous team because they're just oozing with confidence. I wouldn't want to play them.
It seems like momentum went all over the place in that game. Are you guys believers? Can we see this Calgary team get back in the playoff race?
Oh, I'm a Calgary fan. I'm a huge Calgary fan now. After watching a few games from them, I love their big-time plays and their big-time players. I'm excited to see what they can do.
You know, we talk about building teams, forming, storming, and norming. This team went through all that. Now they're norming. And DeVero's got the smaller playbook, but his experience, I think, in that team room, in that locker room, convinced these guys, let's not go change stuff. Let's just change the way we're playing and we're attacking this mentally. I think having a veteran coach there makes this team very dangerous.
Can I borrow your pen? I need to write that down. Was that forming, storming, and norming? Okay. Did you copyright that? All the coaches at home, we just learned a lesson there.
We've all been through Sports Psych 101.
Yeah.
To me, thinking about it, talking about the sports psych, you got to work with your players. Why did we see no Ruggsy down the stretch?
You know, it could be a coach's decision. You could see some things happening on the court where the athletes are just clicking. They had a great defensive effort towards the end. Maybe he wanted to keep them together. Not really sure what could have been the reason why Ruggsy wasn't in the end.
And I just think he put the team that he thought was his best defensive team at that point on the court. Not against Ruggsy. It's just about, these were the 5 best defenders I have, and I'm going to build around those guys.
Well, they looked like one of the best teams in the league, never mind 5 best defenders. Let's make some sense of this, because actually the Bandits were hoping that Winnipeg would win this game, because that would have meant they would have clinched a playoff spot, but not just yet. Winnipeg still in first with a game in hand on Vancouver. Calgary surging, as we mentioned, just 3 games back of Edmonton, in Saskatoon in sights as well. So things are starting to get close in the West as we hit the stretch. Saturday night, we've got some outstanding action for you as well, which are going to impact these standings when it comes to the CEBL. We've got Edmonton and Niagara, but before that, at noon, men's volleyball, National League action, Canada versus Cuba. Diamond League from London, England, of course, the River Lions, a franchise you know well, Coach, with your son doing a great job there against Edmonton, looking to help their playoff positioning. We got a lot of great action. We had a lot of great action today. I'm out of breath. I'm a little stressed, and I didn't play. This was fun. It was physical, it was rough, it was tough. It was everything Canadian basketball should be. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and obviously some teddies for the kids. This was a fun one. Enjoyed the CBL action with you.
Program has ended.